The latest chapter of the One Piece manga presents a quite unique moment, where Rob Lucci and Kaku decide to team up with Luffy. There's a reason for that, because their lives are at risk. According to the information disclosed in chapter 1075, Seraphim attempted to destroy the control room where Rob Lucci and Kaku were located. Outside of these two, Zoro and Luffy were also there to look out for them. Seeing this situation, Lucci then proposed to work together to overcome the Seraphim. As you all know, Rob Lucci and Kaku are not unfamiliar names for Luffy and Zoro. The two of them had met before in the Water 7 arc. At that time, both of them were still part of CP9. They then carried Robin to Enies lobby. There, Luffy and the other Straw Hats went about saving Robin. Luffy's fight against Rob Lucci and also Zoro's against Kaku are the two epic battles presented in that arc. They then meet again on Egghead Island, where at the beginning of this arc they fought each other. Lucci and Kaku had demonstrated an increase in their strength, which unfortunately was not very effective against the power levels of Luffy and Zoro. Until then, Stussy had betrayed them. They were rendered unconscious after Stussy used her powers. And in chapter 1075, S-Hulk and S-Bear are known to have attacked the control room. Seeing this situation, Lucci volunteered to help him face Seraphim. So the question is, will Luffy accept the deal? If you look at the previous chapter, perhaps Luffy will agree to what Lucci has to offer. It is based upon combat moments in Onigashima. At that time, X-Drake had asked for help from Luffy and his allies to accept him to join the battle. Zoro and the others refused because they knew that X-Drake was part of the Beast Pirates. But Luffy said it was okay. It's probably going to happen to Rob Lucci as well. Zoro will certainly oppose this. However, after discussions and various things that were said by Lucci and Kaku, plus the urgent situation, it was not impossible that Luffy eventually agreed to the offer. Luffy himself might have faced the Seraphim with Zoro, but his present state is that he is exhausted after running in search of Bonnie and Vegapunk. Even if Kaku and Lucci will help to confront the Seraphim, the other question is whether they will also help Luffy and Zoro to face Kizaru and the Gorosei. Chances are they're not helping Luffy and Zoro with that one. There were several things that would keep them out of this battle. First, they are agents of the world government. Helping Luffy and Zoro against the Marines would be considered treason. That's also how Sentamaru felt in chapter 1074, where he thought the Marines would describe him as a traitor, and because of that he fielded the strongest pacifista. Secondly, Lucci and Kaku know the strength of the Admiral and also of the Gorosei. They are not random figures that can be defeated easily. Kaku and Lucci can't get threats from the other Gorosei and Ine, so both of them are unlikely to help Luffy defeat the Gorosei and the Marines. After the fight against the Seraphim, they might decide to leave Egghead. This moment of cooperation between Luffy and Lucci may be the first time this has happened. However, as mentioned earlier, this was not the first time they had met. After the fight at Enies lobby, Lucci and Kaku themselves admitted that both of them were very strong. Even though in the Egghead Island arc they fought again, and Kaku and Lucci tried to prove that both of them had also increased their strength. In fact, they still lost to Luffy and Zoro. Maybe the moment Lucci and Kaku join Luffy's alliance will be a turning point for both characters. The two of them might secretly become part of Luffy's alliance. Or it could be that they at least show respect for Luffy. This is similar to how Smoker or even Fujitora respects Luffy, even though they are both Marines. And the most epic thing is at the end of the story, it could be that Kaku and Rob Lucci will change their minds and decide to help Luffy and his allies to face the world government.